friends, Carrie here. Today I want to specifically talk about T25 and Turbo Fire modifications for people with diastasis recti. If you don't know if you have diastasis recti, make sure to check out my webinar and my other online videos that talk about discovering diastasis recti and some basic things that you can do to help in healing and to do basic modifications. Modifications are really important in everything that you do for life, and also when you're working out, to be extra conscious of these things, because if we don't modify correctly, diastasis recti can worsen. So if you're following other people, they might be telling you not to work out at all while you have diastasis recti. I do not believe in that. I believe in modifying a smart way so that you can keep your body healthy and strong while you heal your diastasis. So let's talk about my friends that are doing T25 or Turbo Fire, two very popular programs. Yes, you can do those programs with modification. So let's talk about the basic modifications. If you're doing either of those, there's a lot of jumping involved if you're just following the basic. The modifier in both of those programs will take all of the jumps out. Please follow the modifier. One leg at a time is perfectly safe, comfortable, and fine for people with diastasis. With both legs, that's a lot of pressure right here on the core. That could possibly open an injury. Okay, but here's what I want you to do this. When you're doing one leg at a time, try not to do that. Instead, hold it strong, firm, and keep your alignment very, very tall. So if you're pulling your knees up, you're actually having to really engage that core and keep it pulled in and strong, not scooping in this way. If you begin to scoop in this way, it could have the change purse effect, which is that, okay? And that is not what we want to happen. We never want the abdominal wall to start pushing outward when what we're doing is trying to pull it inward in order to bring it back together and to heal, which is a life lesson as well. Okay, so let's go into punches. Both of these programs use punches. It's really important to tuck the tailbone under you and keep your body supported. So when you're doing this as an uppercut, I'm actually turning my knee and turning my body to keep myself in proper alignment, back nice and tall, while I use that punch, turning each time. So if you're quick, I'm still moving my foot and my knee to turn my body to either side. I am not twisting from here. Twisting from here can pop that injury back open. Same thing happens if you're punching across your body. If you're twisting like this, it could reopen your injury. If you move your leg, knee, and foot, boom. Your alignment is good, your core is still pulled in, and it stays strong and protected. Let's go to kicks. Kicks are great for getting a stronger core, but what can happen, we'll lift that leg and this starts to happen. Now, if that starts to happen, it's going to open back up. But if you keep your alignment nice and tall, and don't worry about bringing the leg all the way up to your head, just bring to where you can today with holding everything in strong and in alignment. Okay. Now, if you've worked out with me before, then you know that we have very specific abdominal modifications when we get down onto the mat, on our back, or in plank position. I want to review those with you, talking about T25 and Turbo Fire, because both of those use abdominal work that we need to be careful about. We just need to modify a bit. So watching the modifier does help, but there are some specifics for you. For instance, if you're sitting on the mat and they're going back into the Roman chair, you will not be doing that. You're going to keep your alignment very tall, pushing your head up and your sits bones down and staying right here. If they are twisting side to side, you will not be doing that. You can extend and lift one leg at a time, and that is core engagement. It really helps build the strength in the lowest part of your core. When you start to feel stronger, you can lift and lower this leg as long as you're not rounding the spine. It stays nice and tall and it lifts and lowers like this. That takes a lot of strength and connectivity between the abdominal wall and the hip flexor. Okay, so if you're going to lay on your back, what do? You turn on to your side first. No matter how fast the video goes and they're throwing themselves down on their back, you're going to need to take your time and come down using your arm strength and then onto your back. From this position, you can lift one leg at a time, but not both. And you will not lift your head. Okay, so these whole series of abdominal exercises where they're doing all kinds of movement, that's great for other people. But if you have diastasis recti, here's what you're going to do. Tuck your tailbone under, keep your ribs down and flat, keep all of this as strong as possible and connected. Take your shoulders behind you and strong and lift and lower one leg at a time. Even if it's just a few inches, that is core engagement and it's making you stronger. And as you get stronger, you can increase how far you go with your leg or increase your lever, which means a straighter leg. When they go into plank position, it's very important that you remember to keep at least one knee down. So if we're doing any kind of push-up or plank exercise, here's what you do. Your knees start right underneath your hips. You push up in between your shoulder blades. Put one hand under your armpit, other hand under your armpit, hands wide and supported. Push down into the tops of your feet to get the abdominals to pull up and in and your back really, really strong. So can you do push-ups from here? Yes. Will they work? Yes. If you need more, if you're strong in your upper and lower body and you need it to be harder, then push your knees back. Or as you get stronger, come up to one toe and then switch halfway through. But do not come all the way up here until your core is healed well enough to where it is completely pulled in and strong, not pushing out from that position. I hope these tips have helped you with working out with T25, Turbo Fire, and other cardio conditioning programs. Make sure that you check out the webinar if you haven't watched it already at carifit.com/diastasis-recti. I will put it on here for you. And educate yourself, educate others, spread the word, and let's make sure that we are working out safely in order to heal this very common injury. Thank you. Please leave questions wherever you're seeing this video so that I can help you further.